Welcome, welcome. It is Course Creation Month. Yes, that's right. We're spending the entire month of February creating courses together. So if you've got this amazing idea in your head, or maybe you've already got a course and you want to revamp it, that's what February is all about. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be mapping and taking that idea out of your head. Then we're going to be creating it. Then we're going to build it, and finally we will launch it. So the entire month of February here on the live streams, every single Tuesday at 9 o'clock, you're going to see me here talking about courses. But as always, let's kick off with our theme song as we wait for all the registrants to come on in to the Zoom account, and I'll be back in 3.5 minutes.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those flaws. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Know that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Shine. Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if I mess it up? Just shine.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Course Creation Challenge Month. I hope you're all having a fabulous day, and I can see a few of you are starting to roll on in. It hasn't been well promoted, so there'll be just what is. Hang on. Sorry, guys. I know you're out in the live stream. You don't know what's happening, but Jackie's trying to tell me something on the back end.
Okay, it's all good. Okay, it's all good.
It's all good? All right, cool. All right, so it is Course Creation Month. So let me know in the chat whether you're here live or on the replay. Just put it in the chat below, because when you do that, you're actually getting a ticket into a prize draw. So every single week on Tuesday at 9 o'clock throughout the month of February, we're going to be slowly working your way towards first mapping out your course, then creating your course or designing your course, then creating it, then building it, and then finally launching it. So it's going to be an amazing month of February to take those ideas inside of your head and turn them into a real life course. Are you excited? I hope so, because I've been building courses online for years now. I think the very first course I did was way back in 2018. Yeah, I think it had been 20. Oh no, it was earlier than that. It was 2016 would have been the first time I created my first online course. Oh my goodness. I'm thinking that's like 9 years ago. So as an educator myself, I've got some background in being able to put together courses that are not just like spurting information out to people, but also making it in a way that is able to serve your people. You see, the hardest part isn't actually coming up with the course idea and putting all the pieces together. The hardest part about making a course is actually, what are you going to leave out? Because we feel as though a lot of the time you want to teach all the things, right? You want to share all the things. But you see, people don't pay you to learn everything that you know. They are actually going to pay you to teach them what they need to know, not everything that you know. But before we actually get into the course, we need to decide what is the actual course that you're going to put together. So let me know in the chat, like I said, on live and replay, because the more you participate, you never know, I might just give bonus tickets into the prize draws as well. But do you know what you want to actually do? There are lots of people out there that teach you how to create a course, and there's so much information out there telling you that you should follow your bliss or, do what lights you up. And you've probably seen lots and lots of people on the web, and loads of books and loads of articles telling you to follow your bliss. Do something that lights you up. And sharing your knowledge, if you follow me, that's probably what you really love to do, right? You love to help people by sharing what your knowledge is. You see, many years ago, I used to work for the government. I worked in corporate. I mean, Centrelink here in Australia, you can't get much more corporate. Lots of hierarchy stuff going on, and I wasn't happy. But when in 2004 we lost our son, that was the time that I realized that I really need to do something that makes me happy, that I need to choose to do more of what I love. And that's really when I stepped into this crazy world full on as an entrepreneur, because I wanted to follow my passion, and his tiny little life, it made me realize how precious life was and how short life can be. So I was really tired of just doing the normal jobs because I had to make money. I really wanted more than just turning up and waiting for the day to end. And that's really when I realized that helping people, and at the time it was only tiny little small things, but helping people was really what lit me up. And that's when I discovered, teaching and helping. And then that kind of led me to follow my passion. And I stopped trying to prove myself to everybody on the job normal path that everyone was sort of telling me to do, when I was really trying to search for a version of myself that allowed me to do more of what I love, and And so that's when I really jumped on the bandwagon. I went all in. So for years, I tried lots of different things. I did art, right? I went through and I got a degree in communication design, film and TV, and marketing. I also did photography, and I but I did photography. But I loved it. I mean, all the way back in high school, I was the one in the dark room as often as I could. Love the smell of a good dark room. Who remembers doing that? I love it. And then graphic design kind of evolved over the years of digital photography coming in. And then also I loved music and singing and playing the guitar. I even used to make jewelry, and I'm not wearing any now, but I was talking to my niece who is starting to do and make jewelry. And I'm like, I used to do all of that. I've got boxes and boxes of jewelry. And so there's all these different things that I've tried over the years. And, these are things that you can start to tap into on, what's that thing that I'm really good at that will also be able to help other people. So what I'm going to share with you now, it's called the hedgehog concept, right? And this is start to really think about what it is that you're passionate about. So hang on, let me get up here on the screen my little iPad. Where's the little button? Over here. All right. We can see that? Yes, we can. The drawing's working right now. All right. So the hedgehog concept is sort of three major, let's see if I can get these circles right. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to think, what are you passionate about? So what are you deeply passionate about? It could be your passion or also your purpose. So when you're thinking about, what is your passion, it's for you to think, how are you going to also contribute that to the world, right? So the hedgehog concept it's not the goal to be the best at anything, right? But it is for you to understand what you're really, really good at, right? This is really a way to help you decide what it is that you want to turn into a course. Now, here you'll need to believe in yourself and also own your own place on the line. So this is where what it is that you're teaching, and this is also just what people will think, oh, I need to be really, really good at this thing. But what they're doing is they're thinking, oh, but all these other people are better at it than me. So why should I even turn it into a course? But remember that if you see your knowledge as a spectrum on a line, and say you feel in yourself that your knowledge in that area is around sort of there, right? So up here there are smarter people who do it better than you. But remember, there are all these people on the far side down from you who do not yet know what you know. These are the people who are going to potentially buy your course, right? And the people who are further ahead than you, they're your mentors, right? They're the people who you will look up to. So when it comes to your passion, right, at this point, your passion is different than like a hobby. A passion is a really strong energy that drives you. It's a belief. You have a view behind your passion. The reason why I became a designer was because I had a really deep belief around the way in which design is used in the world. I mean, it's just beautiful. Look around you. Pretty much everything that you can see, a designer has had a hand in. Even, and this comes to like being a designer for over 20 years, You will see people create something and then bring designers in after they've created a piece of software. But a designer will go in and think about the user experience, how to take something really complicated and simplify the process. When you drive down the streets, you see street signs, right? They're actually people who are designers that come up with those street signs. I worked in a design department where we were designing street signs, and even the light poles that lights were on, and they had little carvings in the light pole designs. And you might just think, oh, someone's just created that. No, a designer's had a hand in that, and it's had to go through a group of people to approve it. So for me, I have a passion for design. I walk around the city in Melbourne and I see the architecture. And to me, there's so much design and beauty in that. So when you're thinking of your passion, it represents something that you hold as something of true value. So things for myself are photography, art, music, design. They are a true passion, right? I see it around me all the time. So you want not only to enjoy your passion, but the next part is you want to start thinking of what are your gifts and skills. So these are things that you can be really good at, maybe even the best at, right? Sometimes these gifts and skills, they come to you so easily. Sometimes you might think to yourself, why doesn't everybody already know that? Now, gifts are different than skills. Skills are those things that you've potentially studied or trained for, right? And then you have refined that skill. Now, a gift, on the other hand, is something that you were born with. So I think I was born to teach. I hear people all the time telling me, you just have a very simple way of teaching that makes it easy to understand. I don't know why, it just does. And only through people telling me. So sometimes you might find your gift, you might go and ask other people, what is it that I'm good at that I might not see? Now, in regards to skills will be automation, right? Somehow I could just see how it worked, but I couldn't be awesome at it until I got some training and further refined that skill. So it was probably built on that gift of being able to take complicated things and simplifying it somehow easily. But then I turned it into a skill by doing further study. The same as designing, right? I was teaching in design schools all around Melbourne and Geelong. And that was because I was great at art through school, right? It was a gift. But then I further refined that skill. And then I went on to teach design and marketing and sales. So some of your gifts may come up when you're mentoring people, right? Think and see some patterns that you hear people say about you that you're really good at. So the second thing that you want to do is start to put all of this stuff onto paper. So start writing out what are some of the skills and gifts that I have. So actually, I just want to go back to the purpose and passion. Sorry, I skipped over a little task I want you to do on this. So when you're starting to think about your passion, I want you to ask the following questions to yourself. What am I doing when I'm doing this particular thing? So as you're working through the day and you're like feeling like, you're in your zone and time can just disappear and you can just keep doing that thing and time disappears. When you find yourself in that sort of zone of genius, I want you to ask yourself, what am I actually doing with this task? What am I feeling while doing this task? And what am I thinking while doing this task? So you'll be asking, what am I doing? What am I feeling? And what am I thinking? So just take a moment over the next week to pay attention when you get into that sort of zone. Jackie, what do you call it, honey? When time disappears and you can just keep working. Hang on, Jackie's over here.
You're in flow.
Aha, hang on. I think she's multi-voicing. Say that again, Jackie.
Are you talking about when you're in flow?
Yes, when you're in flow, right? So when you're in flow, this is when you're probably working within your passion or your purpose. So pay attention. This is little things I want you to be thinking about all week. Now, the next one we'll just go back to now, which is your gifts or your skills. So for this one, if you're having trouble coming up with what is your gifts and your skills, I want you to ask yourself or go and ask other people, what do others thank you for? So maybe you seem to be the go-to for a particular thing. Or what do you add to any situation that you enter into? So when you're in a group, how do you contribute to that really will help other people? And the other one is, why don't you just start asking friends? So ask your friends, ask your family, and say to them, what is something that you think I'm really good at? What is something that you feel that is probably a natural gift that I have? And what is a skill that I have, done some training around and you've seen it firsthand? Ask them. All right, so that's another task for you to do this week. Now, the third part of the hedgehog concept is community. All right, so community will actually drive the economic engine of your program, which means you will make money from this course and people will be willing to pay for it, but it has to serve the community. So what is that thing that you can contribute and connect to community? So your life so far has been a path of lessons that you have learned and values that you hold very close to you. And these aligned will help you help others, right? It will help you to build a community or a tribe. Now, this doesn't have to be a business or career related, but often it is. So take a client of mine, right? She loved helping handmade artists. And she was really good at running large vendor events or markets. And she came to me and she was really confused about what should she be doing to help people. You see, she had this gift of being able to organize really large amounts of people into a vendor event. But by helping her see what her passion truly was, it was serving people in the community to bring them together to be able to sell their handmade items. And she started to feel really strongly about this, that eventually she started driving around her local area and seeing everywhere, oh, I could run a market there. Oh, I could run a market there. Oh, I could run a market there. She'd go, I just drove past this paddock and it looks so good and lots of tree coverage. But then she started to see how that was actually going to help her community because a lot of these handmade artists don't get a lot of opportunity to be in front of people. So that's how she figured out by one, yeah, sure, the community events are great, the vendor events are great, but it was actually bringing those vendors together to the event. And then guess what she was doing? A lot of these vendors, they didn't know how to grow their email list. They didn't even know that they needed, like we used to say, they just sit behind the table and watching YouTube videos while all the potential customers are walking on by. So she started to realize that they needed more help. She started to teach them to stand up and talk to people as they walk past the table. Now, you would think that that would be the first thing that a vendor would think they need to do, but they didn't. They just thought, if I set up, they will come. It's a bit like people who come and join, like us building a funnel. I can build it, but they will not come. You've got to go and talk to people. So she found that by teaching them, they were getting more sales, right? They were growing their list. There was a waiting list of people wanting to go to her markets. And then she created a course for the vendors to teach them how to actually be a good vendor, right? And she didn't realize that she was good at it until she started getting feedback from people. Now, all of these things bring you into this center. If you're all of these aligned, I call this your inner sparkle, right? If all of these things overlap, this is where you will land. So here's a way, if you're still not sure. Now, this is only for people who are not yet sure about what it is that they want to teach. All right, so if you already know what it is, that's fine. We're gonna break that down even further to get to exactly what it is in a minute. But I just want to talk to those people who are not yet sure. They're like, I know I want to do it, but I'm not sure what. So I want you to just start brainstorming out a few different categories. What is it in your past, right? And taking into account the hedgehog concept, what are you passionate about? And just start making a list. Just let it flow out. So this is a brain dumping activity. You know, what brings you joy? What are you passionate about? The second, so like for me, I'd go, art, design, music. They're huge for me, right? Then gifts and skills. So brainstorm out and think, what are things that I'm just good at? For some reason, I don't know why, it's like a gift from God. And then what are the skills you have? So think about anything you've trained for. Now, it doesn't have to be university or, the standard education, and definitely write that down. But are there things that you just keep digging deeper into and you keep reading more books on, or you buy the courses online? And brainstorm all of those things out. And then you think about your journey through life. What are some challenges and some trials and things that you've overcome? Now, you've got to the other side. You can't be helping people until you've figured it out yourself. If you're still right in the middle of it, and I see this a lot with new coaches, a lot of new coaches actually want to become a coach more to help themselves first. You need to have helped yourself before you are trying to help others. But when you have gotten to the other side, can you look back and think, that was such a hard time in my life? But now I have something I can share to help others. I can show them. So just start brainstorming all these out. What brings you passion? What are your gifts? What are your skills? And what have you been through during your journey and overcome? All right, so get all of that out, and you'll see what happens at this point is I need you to just think about it. So what you'll do is this is how it came to me for my first course. I had done this activity and I realized that when I first went live, I was bloody scared. It took me a really, really long time to hit that button. And I would set up the camera And I'd walk up and I know, not yet. I got to go clean the pantry. And eventually I did. I hit that go live button and then I deleted the video and I was so petrified. I could feel the sweat rolling down my back and into my butt crack. Like I was so scared because I was the girl behind the camera taking photos. But once I built up that muscle, confidence to go live, there were other things that I realized was photography. What do we do with photography? We think about lighting, right? And I'm like, well, when you're going live, you shouldn't do it in the bright sunlight. So there are all these things that started to come in to going live. And if you have a look around this screen, there's some design going on now because of eCam. But my very first course was teaching people how to go live with confidence. And back then I was also selling beauty products, which were, well, I'm kind of embarrassed to show you my naked nails right now, but then teaching people how to take really good photos of their nails. So my skill from photography and from design and my passion for design all started to come through in my first course, teaching people how to hit the go live button, but then of course, how to do lighting, where to position the camera, what's attractive and what's not. Now, I had done that brainstorm and I know exact moment that the idea came to me. My husband and I, we were driving out to the other side of Geelong to a shopping centre. It was dark outside, so it was definitely in the evening. It could have been winter because the sun goes down at about 5 o'clock. And he had to run into the shopping centre and I was sitting in the car. And I remember, because I've been thinking about it for days of all these things, I'm like, that's the one I could do. It'll just come to you and then you'll start to kind of get excited. And when I do this in a one-on-one with people, we do it over a few weeks together and I help them break down their ideas. But then we know we've hit it. One, I get goosebumps. Yes, I do. I'm a bit woo-hoo. I listen to my goosebumps. Second, the other person is struggling to sleep at night because they're so excited. All right, so that is an activity just if you were like, I'm not exactly sure where to go. I know I have one in me, but I'm not sure. So this is the other reason why I want you to do this activity as soon as you can, but then just think about it. All right, lots of thinking is involved. And even though we might feel like we need to do, no, this is the time to go into yourself and really reflect. And I just want to point on the fact that you will be thinking about your past. And if you get triggered in any way, please make sure you reach out and get support because it can be a little triggering as well when you start thinking and writing, definitely writing all of this down. It might bring up things. So please, if you get that way, please do seek professional help or, whoever you would normally go to. All right. So this is taking that hedgehog concept and really going a little further with it if you're just not yet sure. Now, for those of you who do know pretty much where you're going to land, you also need to ensure that it's worth creating. So this is a little activity that if you've got a few ideas for the course, once you've got a few ideas, we're going to break it down. Where's my little button here? We're going to get this little calculator thing going on over here. I think it's this many lines. We will find out if I'm right. Okay, so the first thing you're going to start to think about is what is the problem that you're helping people solve, right? Or the solution. We need to start with the solution first because that's what people are paying for, right? And this is going to give you your course idea. They're not paying you for all the steps, right? Nobody wants to lose 5 kilos, or everyone wants to lose 5 kilos, but nobody wants to do the exercise and the eating right. right? What they're buying is a solution to their problem. And what you will do when you can think of a few different solutions, because these will be the promise of what your course will deliver. Now, I don't want you to get stuck in all the lessons and all the steps and the modules. This is not the week for that. Okay, this week is reflecting and thinking. And it's going to be hard not to start mapping it out. And you'll do some research around your course idea, but you will not start mapping it out this week. Okay? Now, you are going to score each of these course ideas that you might have. So into here is passion and purpose. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being meh, 10 being, oh my God, I could do this every day, even if they didn't pay me. What is the score between 1 to 10 when you start writing out all of these different ideas and solutions that you can help people with? Now, the next one is your skill level and your gifts. Now, a high number means I've got enough. I don't need to go and do more study, get more bits of paper. It naturally comes to me and I have the skill set to be able to deliver on the promise. That's a 10. 1 is I've still got to go and learn this and read that and get this and get that. That means you're not ready yet. Now, the next one is assets and resources. So do you already have assets and resources that you can use? You're not going to have to go and spend a heap of money to create a lot of things. You've probably already got a lot of that stuff ready, or it just might take a little bit of tweaking. But you don't have to go out and spend big bucks trying to pull together all the assets and resources. And the final one is profit. So, of course, you're going to be guessing for potential profit. Now, the way to get an answer to this one is see if other people have created a course on it. Right? Now, you might find other people and think, oh, well, I can't do this because other people have done it. That's where you're going to be mistaken. Because if other people have done it, it means, and they're doing well, it means that you can make money from this. So having competitors is actually a good thing. Not having a competitor and nobody else in the world is doing this, somebody's probably already tried and it wasn't successful. There's very few things in the world that you will be the very first to ever do. I always say there's not much original stuff in my brain. It's just stuff I've modeled from other people. The only thing I can claim to fame on is the VOZ, because nobody had thought of that or was even doing that way back in 2015. Nobody even really knew who Zoom was or what Zoom was. And one other thing that came to me in a shower thought, but it would probably have come because I had learnt from other people, but was the 9-step follow-up. I can say that framework is mine, but the idea of actually following up and the fortunes in the follow-up, that was not a new concept. Somebody had already come up with that. Right? So people will not pay if the solution also, or whatever that problem is, isn't strong enough. An example of this, so hopefully you've all taken, I'm just going to clear this screen, but an example of this is, I give you this one, the breastfeeding mum who wanted to teach people how to breastfeed their firstborn babies. The firstborn mums think everything's rainbows and unicorns. Her ideal client was actually the second-time parents who wanted to breastfeed desperately the first time and couldn't. Now that pain point is higher, and the chances of profit and people paying is higher. So I want you to start to write those out, and that is the main homework for week 1, is for you to start to write out that spreadsheet. Now, I have a confession to make. I decided to run course creation this month on the weekend, and it is now Tuesday. I've taught this many, many times. I was talking to my husband last night about, preparing for the session. I'm like, no, I've done this like 12 times or more over the years. I can do it, but I don't have a workbook for you. But keep an eye out. There will be a workbook coming that will have everything I just spoke about. There is one floating around from my old business, and I will see if I can find that link and drop it to you. But the plan was to have a workbook ready, but of course, Sally just has an idea and runs with it. Another reason why we're running it this month also is I always help out the Marketing Impact Academy community in February, most Februaries. And I thought, well, I'm doing course creation for them. Why not bring it into the community? So know that there is a workbook coming, but you don't need it. Seriously, a piece of paper, draw the lines like I showed you. Right. And if you are that person who does not yet know, you will also do the brainstorming one. All right. And you will keep adding to that list. Like sit down and do it, but you'll be thinking about it. You'll spend a lot of time thinking. All right. But then you've got to break it down into that table. Now, here's my goal for you. Once we've chosen a problem and the solution that you're going to help them with, and you've ranked it, you must commit to it for the entire month. That will be the direction of this course. We're going to be practicing imperfect action this month, which means I want you to do the entire process. Can you commit to that? Let me know at the bottom that, only 10% of people that start with us will actually finish with us and get everything done. Will you be one of those 10%? Because at the end of the month, we will be building out your course in software. And I'm going to talk to you more about how we're going to bring in some beta testers and what that's all about in some future sessions. But today is really about a bit of research, reflecting and thinking. And by next week, you need to have what's the main problem and what's the solution that they want on the other end. That's it. Don't think about all the lessons. You already know you can get them there, because then next week I'm going to give you the strategy. So it's a week of thinking and research. Now use the community as well. Now, you can go and join the GSD Facebook community, or you can head to our private, away from the socials community as well. All right, if you want to come and join us there, you just go to members.omnisam.com.au and you'll be able to join our community. We will put a link, if it's not already around, wherever you're watching this video, there'll be a link for you to join our community, both either on Facebook or in our private online community. And also hopefully I'll get that workbook ready for you, and I'll put that workbook onto home base. So that now brings me to home base. Let me jump in and show you. And I think actually I may need to look up the link because, again, not prepared enough. Let me have a look for that. And I think it might be up in the group now. Let's see if it's over in the GSD group. Let's have a look there first. I know I scheduled it, but I might have scheduled it too far in advance. It may not have dropped yet. Where is the community? Anyway, I'll make sure all the links that you need are in all the places that you need. Where is it? There it is, GSD community. Oh, I didn't change the banner up here. All right. Yeah, it's not there. All right. I will find. There is a replay hub. Now, to make sure that you get access to all of the things, you must register, okay? So head to Sally. Head to omnisam.com.au/course creation challenge. That's omnisam.com.au/course creation challenge. And I do want to give you a little tour of the actual dashboard. So bear with me. I'm going to go in the back way to the dashboard so I don't have to find the link. So let's while I'm kind of doing this in the background, I'm going to ask some people to share some things that have come up for them. I can see some chats are coming through. Who have we got here? So Chris has said, oh, let's make Chris a little, get rid of that. Pull that. Come on. Oh, no, it's locked. Oh, no, that's the Zoom room. There we go. All right. So Chris says, I want to create a course and I've lost him. I'm going to bring it up over here again so I can actually read it. I want to create a mini course as a lead magnet and learn your system for creation moving forward. Yes, a little mini course. That would be cool, right? So you've just got to think of one solution, one problem, and it has to be small then if it's just a mini course. Because honestly, everything you could do and teach people is more than the half hour that you'll spend on a live, right? So just remember it's only a little piece, and we'll go more into that next week. I just want you to figure out the one thing for now. Tracy says, oh, that's me, all the things, all the ideas. And I love it. Alison's been thinking about it for years. So this is your time. Yeah, she loves the dark room. Karen, eager to create a mini course. I've been running around in my mind for a few months. However, it's become clearer over the past few weeks. So the course has arrived just in time. Don't they say something like, when something happens, the teacher arrives? I can't remember that exact one. Actually, we've got a few people in the Zoom room. Why don't you guys come up and share?
That's right. The teacher is.
That's right. Thank you, Jackie. All right. So, Karen, why don't you come up and share, if you've got a main takeaway from today, just start talking. And if you're not on screen, I'll make sure you.
Hi, Sally. Yes, I'm in here. And what I'm taking away from today is sort of like the structure, and I've done a lot of that work with the purpose and that. So as you're saying it, I've created it on my Canva, all the little like workbook for myself anyway. But I think it's just going back to basics and thinking about, and I'm putting it all in place because I've also done that message mining that we covered last week.
When we go dark later, I'm looking forward to hearing how that's going. So yes.
Okay,
yeah.
We will do that, and I will, but that's almost, it prompted me a little bit more. So this is why it's so perfect to be doing it right now.
Awesome. Tracy, what about you? What's come up just from the first lesson today?
For me, it's actually sorting out all the ideas in my head. I have way more ideas and too much stuff, and paring that back and getting focused will be the key for me.
Yeah, that's it's harder to, what you've got to leave out is the biggest part of the decision, because we've usually got so much irrelevant stuff that, and for those who are interested, I do mapping sessions if you can't figure this out for yourself. It's like it's a full day affair. But that's the hard part, and especially when we're in it and we know all the things. So don't worry about that too much yet, because we're going to be working out the structure next week, but really honing in on the problem. What is the problem that people are willing to pay for you to help them? And also you've got to love helping them, have that passion, already have the gifts and skill set and the resources, and that the pain point is big enough that people are like, I would pay to get help for that. And then the structure will come. So yeah, because people are going to buy the solution, not the steps they've got to go through to get there. So that's where we've got to kind of reverse engineer your course. What about you, Joanne? What is something that come up for you during that session?
I think I have a lot of mine organized, but I think the thing that I like the best, because I'm thinking I don't really need to be brainstorming. I kind of know where I am. But when you did the whole chart on the solution and resources, and that actually helped me, because I think I can use that. And the whole, let's pick something that you like and you're good at, and then focus on that, and you don't need everything.
Yes.
And I think, Sally, when you've said it before, and again tonight, today, the hard part is knowing what to leave out. When you have experience, and it's been your own life, you want to teach them everything, and it's overwhelming. So the hard part is knowing what to leave out, and I think that's really important.
Yes. Awesome. I love that. What about Chris? Hello, Chris. I know you're raring to go because our team are actually building your kind of skeleton right now for you inside of our software.
Yeah.
But was there anything new that came up for you through today?
Oh, specifically new, I'm not certain. I'd love to know why the concept's called the hedgehog concept, and that doesn't mean to be anything you have to explain now. But as with Tracy, I mean, I've got so many thoughts, so many ideas. It's trying to make sure that I'm focusing down on the ones that are most important right now. So I really feel like I want to make a mini course which is leading people to the work I do. And it doesn't have to be an earning mini course at all. That lead magnet idea is really something which is quite attractive to me. But then I've got further ideas as to how I'd like to, in terms of my purpose and my passion, which is to make a difference for people. So I'm involved with something called B1G1, where I want to be able to make B1G1 access to schools as a service that I give to them. So that could be another course. So I've got so many ideas, but it's what's the one that's really most important to me right now.
Yes. Yeah. Love that. And we're going to talk about this more in the coming weeks, but depends on the type of course. So there's lots of different, like you're looking at that lead magnet kind of value driven short mini course. And then there's different ways in which we can look at courses as well, whether it's like an entire academy, or if it's a section, or you dive deep in one area. And we'll go into more of that. But I can tell you that the hedgehog concept actually comes from a book called Good to Great. But originally it was a story about like the fox is really smart and knows all the things, but a hedgehog only knows one thing, right? And it's focusing in on the one thing. And I've got a training that I do. It's called the Freedom Funnel Formula training, and it really does focus in on just one thing. And like one of the messaging stories I always share is when we're looking at the one thing, it's more about the one thing that you're known for, even if people don't buy from you. But once they buy from you and they move into your program, then you teach them all the things. But if we try to tell them everything that they'll get inside the program, people will just get overwhelmed and be like, oh, it's too hard. So we just want to be known for solving one major problem on the outside. And then when they come in, we show them everything they need to know. Right. So, that's sort of also evolves around messaging. And I think the book, I'll have to Google it. I think the book is Jim Collins, Good to Great, I think it might be. So go and have a look at that. That's where I got it from.
Thank you.
Vincent's here. Hey, Vincent. I was excited to see your face jump up on the list that you've joined us for course creation. So tell me, what made you click the button and come and join us for course creation?
Yeah, thank you, Sally. Sorry, I've been in action for a while. Went overseas for the Chinese New Year, just came back on Monday. So I'm still having jet lag and try to put myself back to work. It's like, looks like 2025 just started, this week, and the school started, it's whole heaps of things. Apologize to Jackie. to try really hard to catch me before holiday. That was crazy. Now I'm slowly back to my normal days, and I want to focus this year. I do create courses before. My background has been an architect, so I want to offer a 6 weeks courses for this. There's a lot of graduate students or student architects always looking for trainings. So
Yeah.
I want to use it as a platform to create a free course for those students. So this is the reason why I joined this, to create those free courses for the students.
That's great. And you're going to create an amazing community around that. See, this is what courses do. As well as educating people, it can also create a great community. And, you know, after the courses, you can start to think about next steps for them, you know, stage 4, 5, 6, upsell. Continuity programs where there are mentoring and communities and memberships involved as well. You know, it's a great next step after they actually go through the program. I've been through a few courses myself, and you can't get into the membership until you've done the course, right? And then it's, you know, we work better together than we do alone, and building communities around that. All right. And on that note, I'm going to show you the community. I have brought it up on the screen, but I have to make sure that I'm in the right place on the screen before I share. But let's just hit the button and see what comes up. This one says share screen. Nope, it's not that one. Where's my eCam? It's over here. I've got to click that and go there and go to OmniSAM. There we go. All right, so this is the hub. So you guys will have access to this. It will come in your email because you've registered. So, right, you got to register. And also this scene hasn't been loaded properly. So let me fix that there. Sorry, I'm inside today because it's like 40 degrees outside. So I'm not going out there to die for you. My husband's all set me all up last night. So this is the course creation hub. So what will happen is when I have a workbook, it will be there. And then each week, additional posts will start showing up. So you'll see here that now if I click this button, I should be live on YouTube. There I am showing you the replay hub. So you'll be able to come into the hub each week and watch the replay. Also, when you click this button, there will be an accountability post that is available for you. But because it is not quite 10, I think I set it to release at 10 o'clock. And on that accountability post, every week you'll be asked a series of questions. And that series of questions, along with letting me know if you watched live or on the replay, that gives you an entry into a prize draw. And then also you will go into the community group and you will head to the free training area. And here you can submit your home play, which today is that brainstorming activity if you are going to do the brainstorming one. And then the other one is, you know, ranking your course. And I did a little search for the workbook while I was chatting with you guys before, and I did find it, but it's an old Sparkle one. Where did I put it? Oh, I had it open on screen to show you. Nope. Here. So this is the old version, but you'll see I'm going to come in and make this more about or more branded to OmniSAM. But this one here, this is your main project if you don't have to do the brainstorming. I want you to write the problem with the solution and then rank the outcome to get the total score so that you're choosing something that is more aligned, and also you can create now. And we're going to commit to it this month, right? Let me know in the chat if you're committed to being that 10% and you are going to follow the recipe all the way through to the end. You see, there's lots of people out there that can teach you how to build a course. Everybody has their own recipe to do it. But the difference will be is if you follow it all the way through. It's so easy to get into partway through the month and get distracted by another shiny ball. So I don't want you to go and chase another learning and development task this month. This learning and development task is not only going to be learning and development, but it's also going to help you with income producing activities as well. So it is fun and it is easy at the beginning, but getting closer to the end, we are going to be choosing a launch date. And we need to at least put it out there, because even if you've got the best idea, until you put it in front of people, you never really know. And I'm going to teach you how you're going to be able to sell it before you create it. That's right. If you want to, you're going to be able to make money now before you've even made the thing. So hold in, because that's what I'm going to be also going through. For those who are actually here in the group, I'll share the old version of this, and let's see if you guys can view that. But I will be doing an updated one that will show up on your, where's Zoom gone? I don't know. Where's my chat button gone? Here it is. Oh, look at all these beautiful chats that I've not seen because I was busy concentrating. All right. So it's so good to see that you're all committed. And if you're out there on the live stream, please also comment under this video so we can put you down for that competition. Let me just quickly take you back over to the replay hub. All right. And then here you'll see a little countdown for each of the other sessions that are coming. Now, also at the end of the month, on the last Friday in Australia of the month, we will be doing a GSD workshop. So as soon as I've created the opt-in for that, you will see a button that will pop up here under the quick link resource area, and you will register for GSD, because there's a few things we need to ensure are prepared before the GSD, and we're also going to be building your course inside of OmniSAM. Now, even if you're not sure if you want to use OmniSAM, you're going to be able to use it for free, so you can, again, do the experience, see what it's like to physically build it in some software. And for all of those that do end up building it, I'm going to gift you a registration funnel ready to start taking registrants, whether it's for free, and you'll have the option of a free funnel or a paid funnel to get people into your course. So that's a really good incentive for you to come and at least give it a try if you have not yet used OmniSAM. So this month, it's all about courses. So I'm so excited to have you all joining us from wherever you are in the world. Even if you're joining us late, you're like, oh, you got plenty of time to catch up. Okay, we've got all month to work on this. So register so you get all the reminders and resources and access to all the places. And I look forward to seeing what you all create at the end of this month. So make sure that you register. Then secondly, go to the hub and you'll be able to be redirected. Let's see if the post is up yet. You'll be redirected. Yes, it's up. I'll share with you. It's working. And I'm actually really excited to tell the team that I found an easier way to get to posts that are not yet posted. I'll show that with you later. Here it is. So on the hub, now under the video, when you click week 1 accountability post, it'll take you straight into the GSD group, and it will have your accountability questions and also tell you what your homework is. And you can post the homework straight in the group to inspire people. And if you want to also head to the community group, because we're kind of hovering between the two places right now, and not everyone wants to leave Facebook, but the community group is ads free, right? It's ads free, and it's much, it's your community group. And come under the free training area, because that's where we're going to be running all the free training for Course Creation Month. All right, guys, that's it. I'm heading on out. Never let anyone dull your sparkle. Make sure you get at least one income producing activity done each and every day. And all of our elites, just hang in, because we are going to continue Strategy with Sally after the live recording and answer any burning questions that you have, course related or any strategy questions. Have a great one, guys. I'll see you all next week. Oh no, demo on Wednesday. That's when I'll be back. See you then. Bye for now.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art.